Hey everybody, welcome back to Conscientious Omnivore. My name is Pal. Here at the in-laws place again today, pumping out some of the rainwater. As I showed you guys in our video not too long ago, I kind of took you through the rainwater collection that we have here. And just really quickly wanted to show you guys something right nearby here. Look at how dry the ground is. This goes back to pretty much that same topic, but also previous videos that I've done talking about the compost bin back here and the importance of ground cover and talking about mulching and all this kind of stuff. Here we're under quite a shady area of the yard. Everything's really tall here, everything's really shaded in. There's really tall bushes here, there's big trees. It's really dark here. You can see it's actually in the morning and it's quite sunny, but there's no sunshine in here. Like it gets a tiny bit of sun during the highest parts of the day when it kind of peeks through these trees here, but really this part of the yard kind of stays shaded the whole time, most of the day. And as a result, you obviously can't even really keep grass alive too well. So my mother-in-law always tries to get grass to grow in here, but it always fails because there's just not enough sun. I think there are some shade tolerant types of grasses that might do better, but even with those, they do have a minimum, number of sunshine hours that they need in order to not just die off, and it's just impossible to basically keep this shady of an area covered with grass. But unfortunately, despite my best efforts, I haven't been able to convince her to, leave ground cover on. So she always rakes the leaves and, doesn't use ground cover, doesn't use mulch. And this is the result. So you can always see in here, even though it's shady, there is just cracked earth everywhere, because as I've been saying in the last couple of videos, it's been really hot and dry, and haven't had too much rain, although we did have a really good spring, all things considered, but comparatively a good spring. But since the past month or so, it's been getting progressively hotter and drier, which is kind of what normally happens here in Hungary. But you can see that the ground is just getting, dried and cracked out. She's got a little apple tree that she planted here, which I don't know how well that's going to do next to this plum tree, which isn't doing well anyway. But then, she waters this, and you can see that it's just like more cracking, like the water will just kind of pool there. It gets real muddy, like I showed in the other video. Eventually it'll seep down, but then it just dries out again, and it's not, there's no organic matter. It's just all like this heavy clay, not so nice soil. And compare that to what I showed you guys in that video underneath the raspberries or other areas where we've mulched, which I've shown you guys. There's a buildup of organic matter. It's a nice, heavy, sorry, not heavy. It's a light, loamy kind of, organic material that develops over time, and you get life in there. You get the helpful, fungi, the helpful insects, all this kind of stuff, the bacteria. It's like an ecosystem here. It's just dry, and these cracks are going to get bigger and bigger as the excuse me, as the summer progresses, and you're really not going to have the hose just moved here. It scared the bejesus out of me. Anyway, yeah, so the cracks are just going to get worse and worse, and it's going to keep getting drier and drier. So sorry to keep harping on about this, but it's just something that is so striking to me. Like when I see it, I kind of can't help but mention it over and over again, because it's really something that I feel strongly about, and it's like one of the most obvious like visual things you can see, that like if you have the ground cover, you have life, you have organic matter. When you don't have ground cover, you have dead soil, huge cracks, and nowhere for the water to really go, except pool and runoff and cause even more, surface erosion, all that kind of stuff. Especially in an area that's shaded like this, like you really need to have the ground cover, because even the grass isn't going to grow. So now you have nothing to protect this soil, especially if this is at a slant. Here it's relatively flat, so it's not going to be as obvious. But if this is at a, at a slope, you can just imagine when the rain comes down, it's going to just, race to wherever the low point is, and just drag any little tiny bit of topsoil that's left with it. So then you'll have even less chance to like get stuff planted on it. This is why you have to learn about, like, you know, making swales and all this kind of stuff, like in really harsh places where you don't get regular rain, and you get oftentimes big deluges of rain. So like you have a huge amount of rain coming at one point, or a couple points in the year, and then you have huge long periods of dryness. And here in Hungary, it's definitely, we're kind of shifting to this like monsoon dry season kind of weather lately. That's kind of what's been going on. So anyway, I think that's it for the video. This thing's almost full and I gotta go move it to another barrel. But just wanted to share that with you guys, and hope everybody's good. See you in another video soon. Bye.